The press is very angry at us. The mainstream media is very angry at me and at you, and they want to express that anger loudly and clearly. They are angry, well, for a lot of reasons. One, we have the audacity of thinking differently about the role of the federal government than they. We have the audacity in believing that Donald Trump would be a superior candidate and a superior person to lead the United States of America above and beyond someone along the likes of Kamala Harris or Joe Biden, for that matter. We have the audacity of disagreeing with them on any number of issues. And I've long said, and you are well to be reminded of this, if a Democrat disagrees with you on an issue, they simply cannot have a disagreement. They think you are either dumb or racist. And if you were just a little bit less dumb or less racist, you would agree with them. That's the way they think. They can't conceive in their minds of just simple different ideology or philosophy about the role of government and how government should interact with our daily lives. That said, they're mad for a very specific reason. Because Kamala Harris came out last week and she finally offered us a policy position to chew on. Now, I understand that she has been the presumptive nominee of the Democrats. I guess she's now the official nominee of the Democrats. But she's been the presumptive nominee really since that disastrous debate performance a little over a month ago. Hard to believe, but her ascension to the role of presidential candidate was really solidified a little over a month ago when Donald Trump almost lost his life in a field in Butler, Pennsylvania. I understand the mainstream media wants you to forget that that only happened 5 weeks ago, but it was only 5 weeks ago, less than 5 weeks ago, that Donald Trump almost had his brains blown out. And no one seems to care about the investigation. No one seems to care about the wins and the wheres and the whys. We do, and we're following it as best we can. It was just such an absolute failure. And the failures continue. Did you hear about this breastfeeding incident in North Carolina where one of the people that was in charge of site preparation, they went into a room where this one particular person was supposed to be in charge and she was nowhere to be found. And they're like, well, where's the person, the Secret Service person that's supposed to be in charge here? We have an insecure area because of you. And they went off to find that person and she was breastfeeding. Now, look, I don't have anything against breastfeeding, but the policies state that you're not supposed to have your infant children on duty with you, period, first and foremost. And secondarily, you can't very well secure a perimeter while you're breastfeeding. We're told by the Secret Service that the investigation is ongoing. How's that cocaine investigation at the White House going, by the way?
Working for the feds is a cushy gig. You can just be a complete screw up and get a check.
I mean, the federal government generally, but there was a time that we felt as if there were certain aspects of the federal government where they were expected to do their jobs. I think Secret Service would have been one of them up until recently. And now they're woke too. But the press is very angry with you and me. And here's why. After a month of platitudes, after a month of honeymoon, after a month of, I should back up. After 6 years of talking about how awful Kamala is on the campaign trail and how ineffective she has been and how much of a drain she has been on the Democrat ticket as a vice presidential candidate, how but for Kamala Harris, Joe Biden would be doing better. And, you have to stick with Joe Biden because, look, Kamala Harris is worse. Well, now they've got Kamala Harris and they have to put lipstick on that pig, so to speak. Nobody called Kamala Harris a pig. It's a well-known saying, liberals. Anyway.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
Coconut-flavored lipstick on that pig. They've decided that they're just going to tell us that she's awesome, right? With nothing to back it up. Nothing. So I'm just backing this story up. I know most of you already know most of this. So she has accomplished nothing as vice president of the United States. She accomplished nothing as a United States senator. They won't tout her successes as a prosecutor in the state of California because she actually put people in jail. Some of them she put in jail for no good reason, but that's neither here nor there. She was a failure as a presidential candidate. She was the most liberal senator in the United States Senate, besting Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders for that title. And she refuses to do an interview. She refuses to sit down and answer questions that are asked without her knowing the questions in advance. She gives stump speeches, and they hand select moments where they create what is supposed to be just a random moment in time, and they aren't. Like, Kamala Harris went into 2 different convenience stores on the same weekend and was unable to find Doritos. And they had this moment. I'm not making this up. One of them was not Doug Burgum. What's his name? Doug, first husband. That's her husband, right? Doug
Imhoff.
Thank you, Jay Harper. Imhoff? Imhoff. All right. Anyway, Doug Harris was in the. I'm just going to call him Doug Harris. Doug Harris was in the and he was like, "Oh, here they are, honey. Here they are. Oh, we found the Doritos. You know how much I love the Doritos. We found the Doritos. Isn't that awesome? We found them." And it happened twice in the same weekend. And then the other time it was Tim Walz. "Hey, Kamala, I found the good Doug. Give me the Doritos. Oh, I love them." You people are so damn fake. Ugh.